orgies with
Yeah.
tigers.
Oh my God, yeah.
You're telling me that wouldn't get someone turned on in the audience, you putting your head in a tiger's mouth? It's like, this fucking person plays God.
Yeah.
There are many topics and concepts we are all familiar with, but aren't necessarily sure how they work. Each week, I present a guest with a surprise topic and ask them to try their best to explain it. This is Explaining Things.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Explaining Things. As always, I have a guest comic with me who's unprepared for the topic I'm about to give him. Today, my guest is Andrew Manning.
Thanks for having me.
How does one become a magician? If you had the goal right now to be a magician,
You gotta have a deck of cards nearby. So your dad probably has to have a gambling problem or something initially.
cards is step one. David Blaine is like the new magician where it's like he does these incredible feats.
Yeah.
He's not just doing rabbit out of a hat.
David Blaine's thing, with him it started when like you have to get like stuck in an elevator in sub-zero temperatures or something. That's like how he got started, I imagine.
He's like a daredevil.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm going to be encased in ice for 24 hours and I'm going to survive. And the scientists are like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But he does it somehow.
He does. That's what he says at least.
If you're the son of a magician, I think you go that route.
Probably, yeah.
I think it gets passed down because you see dad's tricks and shit.
Stay in the family business.
The son of an actor becomes an actress.
Yeah.
So it's like you're a kid and you're like, oh, dad's a rock star. You see him in front of a crowd of 150 people at the VFW. Or,
My dad's so cool and he drinks so much just like my friends.
oh my God, he can drink so many Bud Lights before he pulls rabbits out of hats. I think that's the easiest way to go about it. And they always have the thing like you can't teach a magician how to do it.
Is this kind of like the X Factor of magic?
You can't teach magic to someone if they're not a magician. You know,
Oh
so it's
my
like,
God.
how do you know
What
you're a
a
magician?
dumbass thing.
Is it just an innate quality that they can recognize in you?
I don't know. To be a magician is like getting sleight of hand down probably and like being kind of a dork.
Depending on what your goals are, you need charisma though. So you have to be a dork that at a certain point realizes, you know what, I can be more than a dork. I can fucking do tricks for audiences. So you have to be like the cool dork.
Yeah, you have to be the dork that's like the main character of a movie where he eventually like doesn't have glasses at the end or something.
He's the lead dork. If at 25 you're like, you know what, comedy, whatever
my
I do
thing.
during the day, this isn't really cutting it. I think magic. I think that's the angle.
Imagine a guy just like at an open
a
mic.
magic open mic.
Yeah, and he's just like, he's on stage and he's pulling it out and he's got his hand in the hat and he's just like, oh fuck, you know, the rabbit's dead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
He just panics.
Yeah, the rabbit shit itself on stage and stuff.
You know, he's just working on the charisma part. He's like, I have the magic part down. I need to be a showman though.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. The problem with that is magicians don't want to give their tricks to other magicians.
They don't.
You've
They
seen
really
The
don't.
Prestige.
I think what's interesting about that is like in comedy you have like joke writers versus performers, and I wonder if there's like magicians who are like, yeah, Bob's more of like a magic trick guy. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really like an audience interaction guy,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
you need Penn and Teller, aren't they? Literally
Penn and
doing
Teller,
that.
they're like,
One of them is
they're
like-
funny. One's funny and one doesn't talk. You know it didn't start like that. You know it had to be, one was charismatic and loud and brash, and the other one was just kind of like,
Sucked.
He sucked.
And it's just like lean into that.
It's
You
it's
suck
just
at
like,
talking.
you know what? Instead of just saying a couple words, say fucking 0 words. So then, I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to be a duo? You know, does that help bear the burden of this?
Plus, if you're a duo, eventually other people in your life will leave you because you're a magician, but your duo is kind of stuck to you. You know what I mean?
You're stuck.
Yeah.
If you hate your partner and you're successful, you make it work.
Yeah.
Like a marriage.
Yeah,
It's
like Opie and Anthony or Siegfried and Roy.
Were Siegfried and Roy lovers though, or were they just both individually
They
gay?
better have fucked sometimes.
They were gay.
Yeah.
Think of all that good ass you can get after a Siegfried and Roy show.
Yeah, it'd be selfish for them to contain that just in their own relationship.
Oh my God. The other thing is like, if you're not that great at magic, you add the other angles to it. Like we were saying,
Right.
like there are funny magicians. You know, like the Amazing Jonathan was a guy, but his whole thing was he kind of sucked at magic, and that was the goof.
Oh, that's
that
great.
was the gag.
Yeah.
Like the documentary came out and he would be like, I have to snort some more magic powder. And he actually would be snorting cocaine off of his hand in front of the entire crowd.
That's amazing.
So drug addict, I think he just died at like 65.
Yeah. He died at 65?
He's at 65.
That's the magic trick right there.
And of course, who would we be without our sponsors? I have an ad read. Unfortunately, you have to stick around for it.
Naturally.
Ted's Toilet Cams. Need a cam? Looking to spice up your kink? Try out Ted's new stain-resistant, splash-proof cam. Bluetooth technology lets you watch the cam from 500 feet away. If it's not totally awesome, it's not Ted's. Good sponsor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ted's Toilet Cams.
Your whole thing is the illusion that you're in complete control.
Yep.
of the magic. So the second someone draws the wrong card, is that the ace of clubs? Actually, this is a
No.
3.
Yeah.
The mystique's gone.
Yeah.
You have to be perfect by the time you're in front of audiences.
And you've got to have a little delusion, and maybe at some point you think you're going to discover real magic, and I think that's somebody's search. Somebody believes that they will come across a real magic trick.
Someone believes that?
I think so, yeah. I think that's many young magicians. They're like, I don't know if I'm a mentalist anymore. I think I've reached something higher.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, like try to move something with your mind?
Dude, I did that literally this week. I'm not
It's
out.
like, all right, I watched that fantasy movie. Well, how do we know unless I try? And then you're like,
Yeah.
I think the angle is, I mean, comedy's obviously hard too, but like, be a decent magician and add funny to it. I think that's your,
Yeah.
I think that's your quickest road to putting out a presentable, product. To become a great magician, I think that's an elitist activity. I think you have money. You can't
Yeah,
be
you
just
got
like
to.
a fucking poor great magician. Like you're David Copperfield.
No.
Like, you have fancy
Yeah.
costumes. You're not just wearing rags and shit.
You're Cirque du Soleil at that point.
Although,
Yeah.
if I see a homeless man and he does a magic trick,
I was just about to go there.
he's real magic.
Yes.
That's real magic. If I see rags and you're poor and you make a quarter disappear,
Yeah.
I mean, I believe.
Yes. And then the real magic trick is like, how are you staying alive on this quarter? Don't make that quarter disappear, man. I gave that to you. You got to hold on to that shit.
Hold on to that. Turn that into a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the real magic. Check out Ted's toilet cams, man. They are the best, and that Bluetooth technology holds up.
That's a great way to end. Andrew Manning.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys.